All right, what is up, takers, and welcome back to Ty's Take Today Live. Y'all already know we do this each and every Thursday and Sunday, and we are continuing the conversation with some of the cast members of Love and Marriage Detroit. So if you guys haven't tuned in, season 2, part 2 just dropped yesterday. And if you guys saw, we talked to Christina, and now joining us on the show today in just a little bit is going to be Bravo Samuels to talk about all of his projects, being an entrepreneur in the city in Detroit, his experience on Love and Marriage Detroit, maybe drop a couple teasers on what we can expect for this part of season 2, and then we're going to be talking about some more of his career and entrepreneur projects as well. So as always, if you guys haven't already, be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/@It's Ty's Take Today. Go ahead and do the same thing on Instagram. We keep it real simple, try to keep it real straight to the point, @It's Ty's Take Today. And then of course, for y'all that want to check out the website, it's TysTakeToday.com. And then if you guys haven't already, be sure to also hit the subscribe button and the notification symbol on YouTube so that you guys don't miss out on future episodes. We have a lot of our previous interviews and content, as well as upcoming interviews for later this month and into even next month. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and change this banner out of here. I'm going to get Bravo on here. What's going on, Bravo?
What's going on?
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for joining us. I know this is your second appearance on Ty's Take Today, so I really want to dive in. And basically, for those that haven't been tuning in to Love and Marriage Detroit, can you give them just a brief synopsis about who you are and just a little bit about yourself? And then we're going to dive in and talk a little more in depth about the show and what we can expect for this part 2 of season 2.
Yeah, so I'm Bravo. I'm one of the main friends of some people call it, I don't know what they call it, but I'm one of the friends of the show. I am from Detroit, born and raised, and I'm in the hospitality industry, nightlife industry. Right now, the current owner of 6 venues downtown, from bars, restaurants, nightclubs, etc. And a good friend to most of the people on the show, and a new friend to some of them now.
Absolutely. And speaking of those friendships, for those that have been watching since day one, let's talk a little bit about the second half of season 2. Just give us a kind of feel for the energy and how did your type of friendship dynamics and relationships kind of shift once the cameras are back? And now I know you guys filmed this. It's been a minute, right? So now we're seeing something that's really delayed, and y'all are already probably working on a season 3 at this point.
Oh yeah, it's a lot going on right now. From the time that was aired, the time that it's first showed to now, it's a whole lot that's not, relevant to, I want to say, the current show. But this current show is what actually created a lot of the stuff that's happening now that you guys may see, if another season 3 or something comes around. Other than that, man, I can't really say too much of stuff that's happening. You guys can go online and look at yourself, with the couples. It's some dynamic changes that's been made that, if a season 3 comes, it create a paradigm shift in, what you guys have been watching previously.
Absolutely. Just kind of like you say, can't drop all the tea, but gotta stay tuned.
You can separate yourself, man. What I mean, doing, what he's doing, what she's doing, what they're doing. I mean, everybody, they most of us still put it out there for everybody to see. That's what we signed up for. So
absolutely. And is there something like that hasn't aired yet or like a conversation or anything that you wish did air but didn't make it to the cut?
So I will say this: we were privy to some of the raw, side before the reunion shots. So I think they cover a lot, but it was some things that they didn't cover. I want to say that from previously that some of the cast weren't really happy with. It was some extra events that were going on, some business pushes, some extra promos that some of them wanted to get more branding on from what I hear, but in regards to me, the producers did a great job with, any of the businesses. Like if you see this last episode, the mini bowling alley, that was my guys' business. They called and asked, was there something that a roller, skating rink or something that I can like plug them with? The producers are really, really good at asking us, for more Detroit elements and not just going out there and trying to do it themselves. I think the poppy field was probably the one thing that they made, the decision they kind of made on their own. And, and of course, people got flack saying, is this supposed to be Detroit? Where's it? Well, whatever it was, a poppy field, a lily field or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you probably won't find that in Detroit.
Yeah, I definitely like when I talk about the show just with my friends and with other people that may be tuning in, like myself. That's I think that's a lot of people's questions. They want to make sure that it's the city. They don't want it to be the suburbs. Yeah. We want to support local businesses, especially Black businesses. Yeah. And I think that's really what people want to know. They want to make sure that this cast, does live in the city. Because that's a major difference for some. They want to make sure.
I'll say this: Detroit is So Metro Detroit is built upon multiple cities. So the Metro Detroit side compared to the Detroit side. Now, I'm born and raised from Detroit, but the value of the school I wanted my children to go to, et cetera, Detroit has definitely been built up. I went to Detroit public schools, everything like that. But I mean, I live in Metro Detroit. I still live in Wayne County, but I don't live in Detroit anymore. My businesses are in Detroit. Would I move to Detroit, back to Detroit? I mean, yeah, but it's just the areas that right now I would have to build them up before I move back in there myself, or they would have to be built up before I move back in there. It's just the value of family. When I was solo and single, I was living downtown. I was living in Detroit. I was rocking out and having a good time. But I mean, now it's family values, man. Sometimes most people move to cities that accommodate the family values. So a lot of the people that I know on this cast, a lot of people that's on this cast, they were from Detroit. But I mean, hey, man, you boss up, you build up.
Absolutely. For sure. And most definitely. And I mean, like you said, 6 businesses in the city. So I mean, you're contributing.
I'm paying more than enough taxes and giving more than enough.
Bravo is taking over the entertainment in the food industry for sure. And I want to talk a little bit about your different venues and establishments a little later. But when it comes to you and Lakita, what do you hope viewers take away from your guys' story and from you guys being on Love and Marriage Detroit?
So you don't really know what your relationship is gonna look like until you actually see it on TV. And I mean, some things that I ignored and some things that we just never spoke on, came about. And I think we spoke on this the last episode. I mean, the last time we talked about her father. I've never talked to her father, but of course, I'll put it on the internet and said, should I have asked her? And it was like 90 to 10 people saying, yes, you should have talked about it. So I think stuff like that, it makes you become more open with your spouse about things that you kind of ignored when you guys are in the house. But when everybody else sees it, they blow it up and then you have to talk about it. So, I mean, my coming home late, et cetera, without communicating. I mean, that's a problem for any woman. But I mean, when it's your job, it becomes less of a problem, but the problem becomes your communication about when you are coming home, not why you are not home.
Absolutely. And like you said, especially being in the nightlife, I'm sure there's late nights, not getting home till, late in the morning into the next day. So
we were closing out and doing karaoke last night at 4 a.m. Like still closing out, the drawers and everything. So it's a late night.
I'm definitely. I know I said it in our last interview, but I need to come out there because I was just doing karaoke this past weekend. So I definitely have to show up for sure. When it comes to being an entrepreneur in Detroit, can you talk a little bit more about your different projects? I know I got the whole list right here: District 78, Society Detroit, Chandelier Detroit. The list goes on. And I know I want to talk a little bit about your current projects and how each of those venues are kind of just different in its own right. And then is there anything new? I know Bloom Southfield is in the works, right?
Yeah, it's in the works. Yeah. We just partnered up with Little Lou's Hot Chicken. They'll be under our building wing. And then we're partnered up with Young Village Caribbean Kitchen and Cocktails too. That'll be bridging into the lower level of Chandelier. So it's continuous movement. With me and my partners, man, we just can't stop, won't stop kind of mentality in Detroit. Yeah, I mean, like, so all in all, I think, I just want to, I'm really just here to build up the city, man. You know, I'm just trying to like build the city and give back to what the city's giving me. As much as they keep supporting me, I'm just going to keep taking that support and expanding with it and trying to create jobs and leaders, you know, and within the city.
Absolutely. And then, of course, those that are watching on Facebook and live and YouTube, you guys can chime in with your thoughts. Let us know what you guys think of this the season 2 so far. If you guys have any questions for Bravo, we'll be sure to pose those questions for him later on in the interview. But, you know, really as a Black entrepreneur in the city of Detroit, what would you say is like been some of the biggest challenges that you've had to experience and overcome?
I mean, let's be real. You know, some of the biggest challenges is being Black. You know, that's a hard part. And I'm not somebody that sits there and uses my, you know, color to victimize, you know, my situations. But I mean, you know, it's been doors that's been closed that we 100% know it's been closed because of the fact that we were bringing a different demographic that the owners of the buildings or the leasers or whatever didn't like or didn't want. You know, what I did, a lot of people don't realize this, and I really never really said it. I built the team of you know, of entrepreneurs that I've worked with in my life, and you know, it's 3 Black guys, 1 white guy, 1 Colombian guy, and 1 Arabic guy, and that's been my team. That's been they're my brothers. I rock with them before we were doing before I owned anything, but we put it together, and that's because we wanted to try that. We use that as a way to defeat the resistance of, you know, colorism and everything so like that within the city. And now we you know, we bridged a pretty good gap in the in within the downtown area of places that we know personally some people couldn't get into, and we just played the game, you know. That, and so I think that's really the biggest thing about, no matter what it could be, is even though it's a majority Black city, you know, I mean, it's still owned by a lot of non-Blacks, and it's still, you know, lobbied and pressured by a lot of non-Blacks. And then, you know, and all man, it's like everybody wants their hands in the cookie jar. So no matter what color you are, you gotta, you know, accommodate people and, you know, just work magic around places that people won't let you in.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Bravo's Convos and talk about where this idea launched and where you're trying to take that.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that and a little bit more about your journey and how you're balancing it all out. But if it's cool with you, I'm going to go ahead and share a clip, courtesy, full disclaimer, of OWN TV and Philo, however you want to pronounce it. But I'm going to show just, I was going to say, don't ask me. I'm just signed up for the 7-day subscription. So we're gonna go ahead and share that just a little scene, and then we'll dive into some more conversation.
Hello. Hi, welcome to Status
Table Fofo.
With things going so much better for Brandon and I, and Brandon being back in the house, we are being way more intentional about the time we spend together and connecting with other couples and going on double dates. I gotta take this mask off.
And tonight we are going on a double date with Bravo and Lakita, our homies. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Always a good time with Bravo and Lakita.
Yeah, we love the family.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all got going on? How's the new spot coming on?
It's good.
It's good. Just finished remodeling society, the lower levels.
Yeah.
Decided to now use my brain on that end. It's going good.
Because I saw a space in society that y'all were working on.
So it's called Roses Are Red. So it's for like poetry, R&B, like those type of vibes.
Mm.
So like when you decide to do your album release party. I've been trying to figure out what to do with some of the locations I have, and this new level that I'm rebuilding right now and turning into Roses Are Red is about to be
crazy,
insane. Like poetry, live music, jazz, everything. Man, it's something I've always been wanting to do, and I can't wait to do it. Fully excited about it.
Don't forget, you know, just because it's new, don't mean you can stay out all late.
I didn't say I could.
To make sure you
Come home.
home at a decent time.
Okay.
No, I'm working on the artistry stuff. Brandon and I were just talking about that.
She's coming to my boot camp.
Yeah.
And we'll just go see how she measures up.
Yeah.
He wants to
with all these young bucks.
measure me up to the other
He
artists.
says you're coming to his boot camp. I was gonna say no.
Here's the thing. They're all training with him on a regular basis. He doesn't give me any training time. So he's like literally just throwing me to the wolves.
All right, so that was just just a little taste of
Yeah.
just a little bit of the last episode that aired yesterday. But I do also want to ask, how are you and Lakita? I know I'm gonna try and get her on again because she was on previously with you. Has during the journey over time, has it been more comfortable for you, like you said earlier, to like open up and for you guys to have those authentic conversations, because you guys have been friends with Brandon and Christina for quite some time, right?
Yeah. We well, I've known Brandon for a long time. Just really was meeting Christina like close to the shooting period. Because Brandon and I were and Brandon didn't really even know Keita. So Keita and Christina kind of like came into the picture of me and Brandon around the film side. Just FYI, that was shot at Starters Detroit. They wanted to film somewhere else, and I told them like, no, I want like we're gonna do it with Detroit. So Starters Detroit is a huge bar chain. One of my partners, the one I just talked about, Ali, the Arabic guy, him and his father owns all of them, and they're like the largest liquor purchasers in the state right now, man. They're major. But that was another element of me saying like that the producers allow us, they want us to use Detroit. If you ask anybody from Detroit what Starters is, they'll tell you it's one of the spots. But yeah, me and Keita, we when we Keita and Christina, they fought each other, but I don't know if they were actually friends like that until the show too. This show kind of bridged together like all the families, but most of the dudes knew each other. I didn't know Russell though, but I knew Russell once the show started.
Absolutely. And then, all right, so let's talk a little bit about Bravo's Convos. Where did this idea come from? What is it? Let people know what Bravo's Convos is all about.
Man, you know what? I knew the show was coming back, and I was like, hey, I want to try to just put together a platform to speak on it if I decided to, however the sort. And so I just kind of started it up. And from there on, it just like I realized I had a lot to say. 20 years in the industry, 20 plus years in the industry, you hold back so much stuff because you try to be this politically correct guy and not speak on anything at all. And I think when I realized that putting a microphone, in front of your face and, putting it out there and unapologetically, and people like either agree or disagree, and actually hearing that, it gets addictive because now you start saying like, wow, my voice actually is, people that want to hear this and need to hear this, and it's actually impactful. But it's crazy because I'm all restaurants, clubs, and where I'm at now, people are stopping me talking about it, and I didn't realize it was that big of a thing. So I do have a future plan with it. I'm gonna be doing Bravo Combos Barcast. So I'm gonna be going to different bars and restaurants, talking to some of the top tier owners of places that their favorite restaurants that they just don't know anything about them, like how much they cost. How many partners are in it, talking to the partners. How did you get started? Just the interesting stuff. Like, what's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
I want. I'm gonna get grilled because I want to say my first thought was like Texas Roadhouse, but I really want to answer local. So,
but Texas Roadhouse is a good, that's per se that I meet. I'm able to connect with the owner of Texas Roadhouse, right? I'm gonna sit at the bar with him over a drink and just kick it with him, and talk to him about like how much did it cost me, like how did you start? And I think that's where my lane is. My lane is in hospitality and the restaurant sector. Just because if you go on YouTube, it's so hard to find stuff about people that's trying to get into it, people that's trying to get inspired by it. I couldn't find anything about reality TV when I first was looking at what would it be like on YouTube, and I really couldn't find anything about owning a nightclub or hospitality or restaurants really that much either when I was looking at purchasing one. So I think that's what I really want to do, is fill in that gap.
Absolutely. So bringing the restaurant and the service industry into and like having those conversations with business owners, entrepreneurs, different people that are working in the industry, and like you said, and then are you still gonna be like doing like the videos that you have been doing too, like the funny, the comedic videos?
So it's crazy because like those videos are just me, 2 lights, and my cell phone in my basement. And people ask me like, what do you shoot at? What do you film with? When I'm like, bro, my cell phone and 2 lights. Like, you don't need much nowadays with all the technology. You don't need much to create, and CapCut, of course, but you don't need much to create, good content. You just need to go on YouTube, figure out how to do it, and do it. So yeah, so I'm gonna say out those because those are 3-minute reels. Those are easy. We're talking about probably a 10 to 30 minute, interview now. That's gonna be the hardest and probably more costly, thing. So I gotta dive
Yeah.
in when I start that because once you're in there, you're in there.
For real, definitely. The longer the content, the more it's like, let me find a nice, talented editor to go
Yeah.
ahead and let me cut this check real quick because
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to keep producing more videos.
a sponsor, and
For-
100%. Yeah.
100% for sure. So for you, just when it comes to like balancing everything, TV, life, podcasting, all your business ventures, and especially family, most importantly, how do you make all of that? Like, how do you maintain your sanity and like who you are?
I don't know. I feel like at some point you just got to be a masochist. Like I say this a couple of times. At some point you got to just like mental financial pain because you go through it. I mean, these industries they are grueling industries. They're not for the weak. They cost a lot of money. Bloom right now is almost getting to $1 million. It's been 1.7 years since we got the keys to it. So I mean, it's a lot. They cost a lot of money, and sometimes when you don't get the money from the bank or it's not invested, a lot of this money comes out of our pocket. A lot of money that comes from credit or comes from our pocket, or one of the businesses paid in other businesses. So you're not getting money from that business in your pocket because it's funneling another business right now as you're building that. So this is all like a lot of equity, but very little cash flow once you're building, just because of the fact that your cash is being injected into other ventures. So man, I don't know. I just tell everybody like, man, you got to just wake up and smile. As long as you're given a chance to. I mean, because it's a lot of this stuff is nothing that makes you want to smile. Something that makes you want to like scream, pull your hair out. I do boxing. And the side that takes a lot of aggression out. I go to the gun range a lot. Takes a lot of aggression out too. You know what I mean? But other than that, I look back and just say, hey man, look, you can't be mad or sad about what you asked for. So I think that's really, the gist of it for me. I wanted a family. I got it. I wanted a nice house with good schools. I got it. I wanted, to quit my job at 20 years as a industrial electrician. I wound up being able to do that. And I wanted one venue. I got 6. I mean, like how can you be sad or mad about that? You just got to take the lumps, and enjoy the blessings.
Absolutely. So overall, how would you say like Love and Marriage Detroit has impacted you thus far? And then how do you do you get feedback from people? Do people, I mean, I feel like people always have an opinion, whether it's online, on Twitter or X, or how do you like deal with that? What is the reception or reactions being from the public lately?
So Carlos King, the executive producer, tells us, don't go online. I was talking to Jamie from DC the other day. He kind of congratulated us on the second season starting back up. And I mean, Jamie is a avid online, engager. So he's like, yo, don't read the comments, but I personally enjoy the comments, like bad or good. I mean, I laugh at them. Like I was just on Twitter, like some girl called me a punk because I said I keep moving and I don't stop and argue, and I just put LMAO punk. That's it. I mean, I found it funny, I mean, so I'm not mad at him at the comments. I don't enjoy them, but I mean, I'm as much of as a troll as trolls. I think that's the bad part about it. People don't realize like I'm a really big troll, so it's like it's fun for me. Like, I'll go online and look for everything. I go online. I was like, I don't spend too much time on it, but if I'm bored, I'm like, I wonder what they're saying. Other than that, though, when I'm in a restaurant, I mean, it's a beautiful thing that people are actually coming to District 78 and other spots like out of support because they've seen it on the show. People are coming to. I've had a lot of supporters in my life because I've done parties and nightlife for 20 plus years. So everybody is in the city has done a shot with me. Everybody in the city has celebrated a birthday with me, in a sense. Athletes, the celebrities, whenever they come in town, I get. So I'm always getting the love and the support, but I never had a fan. Like, and I didn't know what a fan was when somebody just runs up to you and, oh my God, like it's cool to say, hey, aren't you the guy that did this party? Aren't you the guy that owns this? Like, yeah, I've been there, had a good birthday, had a good dinner, right? But oh my gosh, you're that guy that was on TV. It's different. I didn't know how to take that at first. And so that is where the growth comes from. Is like, that's like somebody run up to you, it's like, oh my gosh, aren't you Ty, the guy that had that black shirt on a year ago online? What do you say? Like, yeah, did you like my black shirt? Was it cool? You know? So I just asked him, like, yo, yeah, do you guys like the show, or do you hate it? Or, I think that's where the uncomfortability came from with the show. And I had to like get comfortable with it, just how to respond to actual fans, like people that say, I want to take a picture, but I'll take probably around, when I'm in the restaurant, I'll take probably around 10 pictures, like 5 to 10 pictures a weekend. People coming to celebrate, asking, is Bravo here? Like, it's kind of cool though, man. It's different, but it's cool.
Definitely, yeah. I'll say I know it gets overwhelming because I'm so bad with names. So like I'll be like, yeah, thanks for following me. I love you. Thank you for supporting. But me and names.
The craziest thing is everybody I've taken a picture with that has been a fan of the show, I've never seen it posted. I've never get tagged. I don't know what they do with them. It's probably about 100 pictures. And I've never seen one online tag. And they like, I follow you, they take the picture. And I'm like, what do y'all do with this? Like, what do people do with pictures when because I don't know, man. So yeah, it's different.
So definitely a new experience for sure. Yeah, and then last question for you before we get into like a rapid fire, quick, random, fun questions. Overall, what do you want your legacy to look like? What do you hope people take away from you as a business owner, as what do you want that legacy to look like 10 years from now?
So I live by this saying, and it's behind me right now. I just want people to like, did it my way is not only the name of my, my consulting business, not only the name of my business, but it's also my methodology of living. Is literally how I feel, that I want people to sit there and just feel like no matter what people say can't be done or you can't do, like, just do it your way. Don't do it their way. Like, their way apparently is not right if they saying that you can't do it, because they can't do it. And I think that's really, I tell my daughters this, and I tell everybody, my employees, I tell them every day, leaders create leaders. And attitude reflects leadership. So I'm going to just continue to just keep building leaders and continue to just have an attitude of leadership. And I mean, that's really all I care is for people to say, Bravo helped me get here, or thanks to Bravo or whatever. And I don't care. I'm not vain to the point that I care for them to say it, but just deep down inside, I'm so happy when I see people that started here with me that now are doing their own thing. They own their own thing. They 10x from when they first were working with me, hopefully off of one value that I gave them, at the least, man. Or, hey, if I fired you and you found a way better job, then you should thank me. Like, but I mean, like, all in all, it's that's really it. I don't really have a purpose, other than just like living and doing the best I can, do for people in life.
Absolutely. And now let's get to the comments in YouTube. Like I said, if you guys are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you guys can chime in with your thoughts. Let us know if you have a question for Bravo, or if you just want to share your thoughts on the show thus far, or just let us know where you're watching from. Oren Mitchell said, do you see yourself opening venues? And I believe they want to know if you have any plans to open venues.
I'll be real with you. I'm tapped right now. I mean, if I see myself open a venue, I want a franchise. I will shut down and sell everything right now if I could find one thing I can do multiple times, like over and over. If I can get a blueprint to do one thing 100 times, that's cool. I think that's why I would love a franchise. So, I mean, I do see myself opening out of town, but it wouldn't be nightclubs. It wouldn't be anything else. I mean, these things drain you.
Most definitely. I don't know. I don't know how I was to say. I don't know how you do it, because that's a lot of alcohol intake. All right. So now these rapid fire questions. So if you have a dream convo for Bravo's Convos, you got 3 seats at the table, dead or alive, who are you picking?
A dream combo. I got 3 seats.
3 seats.
All right. So I would pick. Oh, that's a good one, man. This is supposed to be rapid fire. You got me thinking though. All right. So here I would pick David Goggins. Can't hurt me. He's the reason he inspired me to quit my job. I would pick Eric Thomas. And I would probably pick Barack Obama. Those are 3 guys that I would love to take in, like what made them become such influencers and really just, I mean, I would take, if I could have all 3 of those elements, man, I would be an unstoppable person, mentally, physically, politically, charismatically, all that. Weird names, man. There's no celebrities, I know, but it's all, all guys that motivated me and probably 100,000 other men.
Most definitely. I wrote down David. You said David Goggins, right?
David Goggins. Yeah. So he's a guy that completed every single military test that there is. He's done a million unstoppable things. And I think he's like probably the longest runner in the world. He's done like 100-mile runs, like multiple times, stuff like that. Eric Thomas, the guy, he's in the Black community. He's known as a hip hop preacher. So he was the one that actually was behind the vote or die when Barack Obama first ran for office, and he's huge influence in hip hop. And then of course Barack Obama, if you want me to explain who that is,
no, I think that was the one on the list that I did know. but I'm gonna look up the other ones for sure. They all sound extremely inspiring.
I would love Jay-Z, but I don't know. Jay-Z's got me in question with some of the stuff he's been doing lately, man. I'll hold off on Jay-Z for right now. But,
all right, Bravo said we go wait on that one. What is your go-to Detroit food spot after a late night out, or just a meal that like just hits every time?
Oh man, I am let's go for lunch. I'm a Bucharest Grill guy. Like Bucharest Grill is unstoppable, and they actually are building one right across from Society now. And then late night, I mean Coney Island. Everybody knows, late night Coney's is the place to go.
Any particular ones? East side, west side Coney's?
Oh yeah, you have to go to your specific Coney. It's like gangs. Like if you go to somewhere else, a Coney that's not in your hood somewhere else, man, you might be in trouble. I personally don't go to any Coney's downtown. And I'll go to Coney and Dearborn. I go to whatever it is. I always go to Lou's. Like I'm a Leo. Sorry, I'm a Leo's guy. Like Leo's is probably one of the biggest Coney Islands around here.
Absolutely, I'll take what is the lemon rice soup?
They got rice soup.
Yeah,
lemon rice soup is cold. What's crazy is late night. I always get salads, man. I get like chicken Caesar salads late night. I don't know why. I don't eat garbage like trash like late night, man. I'll eat something healthy because I'm already eating late. So you might as well make it healthy. So it's like it's half as bad. Yeah.
Try to balance it out a little bit for sure. If you had to sum up season 2, part 2 of Love and Marriage Detroit using only 3 emojis, what would they be?
Oh man. What's the emoji with the circle eyes? Like the swirl eyes. That one.
I don't know what it's called, but I know which one.
That one. The one when he rolling his eyes looking up like that. And the one with no mouth. That's my 3.
For sure. Outside of nightlife, if you had to run a completely different business, what would it be and why?
Electrical. I mean, I was a industrial electrician for 20 years, and right now, electricians are getting a world of money. Like it's name your price out here. So I would just start an electrical business. But electrical business would be literally me doing chandeliers. I would be like the chandelier guy. And that would be like my Instagram. That'll be my branding. I'll be the chandelier guy. And because I already do interior designing and was in building for my venues already, I have huge experience in like designing stuff. So I would like design your foyer and pick the chandelier to match that. So I would just basically be a foyer guy. That's it. I don't touch nothing else in the house, but give you a dope chandelier and design your foyer. It's like your entrance. Because that's, I feel like every venue entrance that I have, the entrance matters. And I feel like that's the same thing with a house. Your entrance should matter. Even though I don't even have much of my entrance, my house. But I did my chandelier though. So I'll be the chandelier guy. That's it. Which I might actually do. You just give me an idea. I might run that now.
Hey, and you just gave me an idea. Now I know when I get my first actual home,
Oh,
I know
100%,
I know who's designing my set for Ty's Take today.
When people buy their houses, man, the foyer, everybody, I feel like the foyer is what sells almost everybody, you know, initially, and then everything else adds on. But foyers and doors, man, it's everybody's like, you know, dreams when they get houses.
For sure.
And chandeliers. Who doesn't want a chandelier in the house? I mean,
hey, right when you walk in, be like, boom.
100%. Yeah.
Captures your attention for sure. All right, so crossover time. If you could link up with any other reality TV cast for like a crossover episode type of thing, is there anybody you
hands down Jamie? That's my guy. Hands down Jamie. I mean, Marceau's a cool dude, man. Marceau, you know, being from Metro Detroit, you know, he's a cool dude. Marceau is he's a troll too. Like he's a huge troll, you know. But Jamie, like that's my guy, man. And he came and hung out with us when we did the premiere for season 2, and I mean it was a fun night, man. You know.
So without saying too much, are we? Is there going to be some feather ruffling during the reunion when we get to the reunion, like? Because I know Bravo, I know Owen's got you guys locked. So
the reunion is a 2-part. From what I know, you know, 2 or 3, but I think 2-part. And it was a lot of conversations. It was a lot of conversations. And Carlos, being Carlos, man, you know, Carlos was messy, man. Carlos, you saw the reunion on Huntsville just recently, man. Carlos will reach, you know. He will pull every card in that deck, you know, on you in reunions and interviews. So yeah, I mean, it was a cool reunion. It was a good reunion
for sure. And
everybody looked really nice too. I would say that the couples were clean. Yeah. And it was on the set of Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta too, so it was a really, really good set.
Awesome. That's dope. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of people kind of, you know, if there are any naysayers about Love and Marriage Detroit, I feel like a lot of people just, you know, everybody loves messiness, but I feel like you guys have storylines, you guys balance it out, and it showcases like real friendships, real relationships, and it's more to it than just the drama constantly.
I think the biggest thing with reality TV is that they film in a short period. I think Huntsville did a full year film before or something like that. And that's when you catch everything. But as of right now, they're not filming, right? But if you go online, you'll see, you know, things like I'm three more venues now since the last time we filmed. I have 3 more venues since then, you know, so my activities are a lot more, you know, my issues with my wife could have been a lot more, you know, not saying it were, you know, but I mean, but other couples have had issues since. And so, I mean, I think that's the issue, is that they film in such short a time. So you got to like impress somebody with only 2 months of your life out of a year. And they judge like, and that's not filming every day for 2 months. That's filming, you know, maybe 3 days a week, something like that. So you're talking about, you know, what, 20 times filming within a year, 20 scenes within a year. And that's what you got to judge all of our lives on. So yeah, and you know, if I don't have much going on, if I'm just building stuff, you're not gonna see the fun. But if they come film now and they, you know, step in the middle of one of my events and I got some wild stuff going on, it's gonna be good for entertainment. If I'm arguing with, you know, one of the guys, you know, it's gonna be good for entertainment. So I guess just whenever they could, you know, people just got to keep watching, and hopefully, you know, they can keep catching on to where we are. And I do think that season 2 was better than season 1. I will say that. I will openly say that. I think season 2, and Kim coming in, you know, Kim and Marcel coming in. I mean, that was an added feature that I honestly feel like the more you get people talking, that means the more interest, you know, is there. And Kim and Marcel coming in, you know, created a lot more conversations than we probably would have had without them. So, you know, let's see season 3, you know, hopefully we get there.
And I was gonna say, you segued perfectly as always into my next question, because you talked about friendships and arguments, and this next coming episode on Saturday is called Podcast Pop Off, and I know that it's gonna feature Anthony kind of clashing somehow to some sort of extent with you
Chelsea.
and Brandon.
Me and Brandon. Oh wait, which one? Oh,
the podcast Pop Off.
Oh no, yeah, the podcast is from what I'm seeing on the trailer is not. Anthony and Chelsea seem to be at it. Again, like I said, I reviewed the footage a while back, but it was so raw footage, so I didn't really see much, or I don't remember much from it. I'm a lie and say I don't remember much from it. But yeah, from the trailer, it's Anthony and Chelsea are funny. I'll play like that. Like they're funny when they are some of the most comical people when they're together. Other people may find it more emotional, but I think it's funny. I wish I was in that room with them.
I love it. And Chelsea, actually, we're gonna have Chelsea coming up on the show soon as well. We haven't dropped the date yet, but so we'll be catching up with her as well. And like I said, the platform's always open to everybody on the show. So that's that's what I'll leave it at. But go ahead and let everybody know, as always, thank you for joining us and diving into everything Love and Marriage Detroit, as well as your business ventures. I feel like the next time I talk to you, there's probably going to be more drama. There's going to be probably 6 more projects. I'm not speaking that until you're ready for that.
Stress me out over here.
But be sure to let everybody know where to follow you, of course, online, and big things coming soon for Bravo's Combos. I want a mug, so when the merch drops, let me know.
How about this? Send me your logo, and I'll put your logo on one side and my logo on the other.
Bet, let's do it. I will definitely get that to you.
I mean, right now you can follow me at Bravo Detroit, BRAVO DETRIOT. DETROIT.
I had to think about it. I was like, wait, did I spell it wrong on the drop?
Right. Yeah, I'm over reading my name wrong. That's crazy. Bravo Detroit on Instagram. I'm J Bravo Samuels III on Facebook. Real name is John, but my childhood name is Bravo, and like everybody in the world call me Bravo, like from everybody. And I mean, I think that's my tag on almost everything. And if usually I'm always, bringing my links in from other places onto my Instagram, so you can probably catch my links everywhere. If you ever in Detroit, just check my bio. All my venues are in there. Just swing by, send me a DM. I do respond, and I do follow back. So if anybody follows me, I try to follow back. It's been a lot of I'm getting a lot of followers lately, man, with the contents and stuff like that. So, but I try to follow back. Absolutely. Any questions too, man? Any business questions that somebody got, in regards to opening anything or whatever, I'm a very open guy. I love talking, as you guys can tell.
I was gonna say, Lakita told us that you did too last episode. So be sure to tell her we said hello as well, and hopefully we can get her on to take over and talk.
I don't know what's up with this. I don't know what's up with everybody, man. Like people, I guess, pick and choose where they like, but some people aren't even like talking anywhere. So I don't know. How can I say I don't know what's up with all the cast, man? I talked to Russell, I talked to Brandon, and and Anthony. Christina hits me up here and there, but I mean Kim hit me up the other day, something like that. But I don't. Everybody, I don't know what everybody be on, man.
I was gonna say everybody on a different type of vibe for sure.
I don't
anything that's been said during our interviews, like I said, we started from when y'all first aired, and the floor has always been open to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, during our interviews, we talk our rah-rah, because everybody likes the messiness. But 100%. That invite goes to everybody. I'm still waiting for Carlos to reach out to me, because your boy hired me for something.
Look, man, Carlos ramping up too. I like it, man. Carlos's content is starting to go up also, man. I love everybody. And you guys in this world. I got brought into this world because of the show. And I'm just happy to see like that. It's a lot of, you know, content creators that put this show on a platform, you know, and we owe it to you guys, you know, for, you know, your support and also for your dedication, you know, to helping us, you know, be great. You guys contribute a lot to our ratings and a lot to our potential of getting into the next season, et cetera, et cetera. This is not a favor you're doing for us, you know. This is we actually owe you guys a favor of having it and being able to come on here whenever you guys ask us to discuss stuff, because you guys you have better stuff to do than to, you know, than to boost our ratings and to just hear from us, you know. And I appreciate everybody that does that. I wish all the cast, you know, had that mentality. I don't know if they do or don't, but I'm always open, you know, to anybody that supports us, man, and contributes to us getting another season and contributes to our ratings. We owe you guys a world of debt, and we should be repaying it every time y'all ask. In my eyes, that's just how I feel, you know. But
for real, definitely real authenticity for sure. Bravo, Samuels. Thank you again. Like I said, hopefully we can have you and Lakita on again. We'd love to dive in and play some games, and maybe even I'm even down to get like, let's do like double couples, or let's make it fun for sure.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you and thank you for checking in with us tonight.
All right, brother. Appreciate you too.
All right, perfect. I'll get you the details for that mug. I'm looking for it.
Give me that logo right away.
Bet. I got you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, bro. You too.
All right, so this has been Ty's Take Today Live. That was Bravo Samuels from Love and Marriage Detroit. Be sure to get caught up. You guys can watch it on the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey's network, and it airs every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right there on TV. So be sure to check them out. They got new episodes dropping every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this coming Saturday's episode is called Podcast Pop Off. All I know is it's not about Ty's Take Today. So that's not the podcast that we're talking about, just so y'all know. But be sure to follow us on social media. As always, y'all already know, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube at It's Ty's Take Today, Ty'sTakeToday.com. It's Ty's Take Today on Instagram, all of the things, Facebook. And we'll be back. I know Doris is going to be joining me for later editions, so we can kind of share our thoughts on season 2, part 2. And I'm ready for the reunion. So that's it for now, but we'll be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. every Thursday and Sunday. And thank you to all our supporters. And of course, closing it out, gonna dedicate this episode and every episode that I have been doing to my mom, who is making progress and slowly rebuilding her strength and recovering. So I just want to say thanks for all the love and everybody that's been checking in with me and my family. And I can't wait to get her caught up, because usually she's in the chats right now, asking questions, letting me know that she's there, sharing it all on her social media. So I just want to say that I love you, and I can't wait to be able to catch you up with all of these episodes. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And this has been Ty's Take Today Live. Y'all like the little cut? Finally got it together. But all right, we'll be back on Thursday. Have a great night.